Hello and welcome. This is Best Foot Forward Shoes, the podcast, and this is episode 26. And today we have a returning guest all the way from Barry, Wales in the UK. It is the man, the myth, the legend. You know him, you love him. It's Joe Incognito, Joe Hughes. He is back. He is ready to chat some more sneakers. And yes, you read the title of the video correctly. We are going to be ranking about 25 different sneakers that have already released so far this year. 2025 has been an insane year, and we're going to put them into a tier list, have a discussion, have a little bit of a chat, and let us know what you think of the end result of the list in our comments. But first of all, Joe, thank you so much for jumping on again, and how have you been going, mate?
Yeah, thanks for having me, mate. I enjoyed it last time, so I was looking forward to this. Been going good. There's been a lot going on in the world of sneakers, so I've been keeping busy, man. Been keeping busy.
It definitely has been a big year of pickups, and you showed me a couple of pickups just before. I'll probably start us off with my most recent prized one was the 2020. Found a good deal on a used pair of 2020 Air Max 95 Neons in the OG colorway. This is not the big bubble version, so no fat butt on the bottom there, but I am excited to wear them a lot more. I did wear them a little bit, and yeah, the comfort is very, very nice. Interestingly, the sizing was a little bit off. I think I usually go 9.5, but I probably should have gone down half a size. A little bit big. But anyway, they're slightly used, so I can imagine that the person who wore them before me probably wore them in a little bit for me. So anyway, that is one of them. But did you pick up anything in the last couple of days, weeks, months since we last spoke?
Yeah, I've had some pickups, mate. Probably the best one is the Jordan 4 SB in the navy colorway, which is I liked a lot more when I had them in hand. Seeing them online, I was a bit not sure. Pine greens are just so good, and obviously I still do prefer the pine greens, but having them in hand and feeling like the comfort on them, these are super clean. I'm really happy to have been able to pick them up. Very similar to my military blue 4s is the only thing I have, so I'm like, don't know what to do there. Maybe I'll sell the military blues, but then I don't know if I'll be able to do that. So don't know, but these are very nice. Don't know if I'm keeping these on the back of hitting on the SB4s, but the Rare Air Jordan 1s, these are nice. So rated, man. The details on these are crazy.
Yeah.
The swoosh wears away to red underneath, which is a nice detail. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on the camera. I don't know if you know, but like the laces are like
multicolored.
They're white. Yeah, they're like white with like sail bits in it, and it's almost like, I don't know how to describe it, but it looks really, really cool. And I like the attention to detail on this pair is sick. I like the blue, the label on the tongue there, the blue, white, and red. I think it looks so clean.
Yeah,
ridiculously clean colorway. Big fan of these.
Yeah. There was also like a white and kind of reddish piping on it. There was another pair that released in that Rare Air Jordan 1 pack, wasn't there?
Yes.
I saw a few of those, but yeah, didn't quite pique my interest.
Yeah, no, that one speaks to me less than these ones. And then finally, I'm going to America like next week. And as part of that, I'm going to the Kentucky Derby. No,
wow. The horse race. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not my thing, to be honest with you, bro. But I've got some smart shoes for that, so some wallabies.
Nice.
So yeah,
and that's the black crepe sole, which means that the dirt that you inevitably will catch onto those will not show.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Not just a pretty face.
Yeah, well, certainly not.
There you go. Well, I think I've probably only got one more to share. Would be I love getting a steal. Like, I love a steal, and I couldn't pass up $170 Australian discount on a Saucony Pro Grid Triumph 4, which was this very nice like gold and green kind of colorway. And yeah, I just saw them one day on like this flash sale in one of the stores, and man, just nabbed them because they were like $280 Australian in like for retail. And so I just grabbed them. I think they were 102. So, I can't complain with that. Love Sauconys, great comfort. Cannot recommend Sauconys enough. The Omni 9, I've got like Grid Azuras, so a bunch of different ones, but whatever you go with Saucony, it's pretty much going to be true to size and really, really comfortable. So that's a nice little roundup of some pickups. But anything else been going on, mate? You've been good?
Yeah, I've been good, man. just on the topic of pickups, I have got a triple white pair of Salomon
Mm-hmm.
XT4s on the way, which I was hoping would be here in time for this. I got them a pretty
Yeah.
good deal as well.
Yeah.
I got them on Farfetch with a discount code. They were like £115,
Okay.
which is good because they retail for like 175. So
Yeah.
I was quite happy with
Yeah,
that.
they're always worth it with the quality of Salomons. Like I've had one couple for like 5 years, and they're still, still usable. Beat them to
Still going
death.
strong.
Yeah, they're so good. You
Yeah,
just got to
yeah,
get
yeah,
your
for
right
sure.
size. You just got to get your right size. I know you had a bit of trouble with the sizing on one of them.
Yeah, the XT6s I really struggled with. I
Mm-hmm.
just can't wear XT6s basically. But the XT4s, I did originally get a pair in true to size, thought they were fine,
Mm-hmm.
walked around them a bit more, and I was like, oh, actually no, these don't. These are like my toes are touching the front. So
Yeah,
I've gone up size, and yeah, should be fine now, I reckon.
yeah.
So yeah, I think we're golden there, mate. But yeah, I'm good. I've been keeping busy. Like I say, got a big America trip coming up. Got my mate's stag
Mm-hmm.
on Friday coming up too. So I'm just busy, man. Like I'm in America for 3 weeks directly after that, literally the next day.
Yeah.
Um, doing a lot with obviously keeping up with the socials, started a podcast, and also doing like paid content work. So I'm just manic, man.
Nice. Plus, full time job. That's kind of the adult
Yeah,
life. Try and have a hobby, but also got to work and earn money. So all of that kind of bundled together makes for a pretty busy boy. But we are going to get cracking with this list, and I've not really put it in too much of like a sequential order. It is somewhat sequential, but it's kind of just random, to be honest. I have kind of tried to start from the top of the year, and again, I have missed some probably. I just thought that these were the most ones that were going to get us talking the most. So we're going to start off with the very first one, which is the Black Cat Jordan 3. Now, this was around, I think, early January. Kind of not a hugely anticipated shoe. Seemed like it was kind of out of the blue, to be honest. But this one, for me, I'm going to start us off, and I'm going to say that I'm going to put this. I think I'm going to put it in the C tier. I feel like that's where I should go. You know what I mean? I'm going to pop up the tier list now, and I'm going to go into it. Where are you thinking?
yeah, I would probably agree with you to be honest, mate. I know like a fair few people were really into these. I don't like the elephant print laces to be honest with you. I think they're really really ugly. I think the only way they're improved by swapping the laces out for black ones. I'm not a big triple black shoe guy to be honest with you. I kind of find them a little bit difficult to style, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they're just a little bit just uninspiring to me. They don't talk to me as much, but I do like the gloss detail on them. I think
Mm.
that kind of adds a bit of contrast. But
Okay.
yeah, they're not massive for me, bro. So I do agree. I
Okay.
think C.
C tier. All right, we're off to a strong start. Funnily enough, I actually think the patent leather is probably the least appealing part to me.
Really?
I think that's probably the least appealing part. But I think this was a pretty middle of the pack kind of shoe. I mean, if we weren't so condensed, it is how many months are we into the season? We're almost into the year. Sorry, we're a third almost through the year. So if this was comparing any threes releases from last year, I probably wouldn't even have this in like the top 10. So, it's only just sort of scraping into this list simply because we're at the start of the year. Come the end of the year, we probably would have forgotten about this shoe altogether, in my opinion. That is our first one. Our next one is, mate, this one is a heavy hitter. We've put in a heavy hitter here. The Baklava, is it Untitled? I think the name it was called the Action Bronson 990 V6 from New Balance. Now, this one had a lot of people talking. This one released, I think it was like 2 weeks ago. Some people still haven't received shipping details from it. Like,
Oh, really?
I've got friends who they bought them, and not Australian, like American, and it's just been sitting apparently in their warehouse for a long, long time. What feels like a long time. It's 2 weeks. And this one caused quite a bit of stir, and I think this was. To be honest, the colorway is not as good as the second one. Any thoughts for this one?
Um, yeah, I mean, I rate the colorway on this one.
Mm.
Action Bronson always does pretty out there colorways. And this one, I do think is clean and more wearable compared to a
Mm-hmm.
lot of them. For me personally, I think it's a really nice shoe, man. I think we're talking at least B, maybe like probably.
Mm.
Uh, I guess.
A B.
Uh, I think you probably want it
We,
higher, don't
we,
you?
we might want to no, actually I'm with you on that one. I think that it's a B. I feel like the um for me the laces are like the laces and the blue piping is really nice and the red hits, but I'm really not a fan of that white leather. I don't know what it is. I'm just not a
No.
huge fan of it, and I just think the rollout, and I just think maybe in comparison to the other colorway, I didn't love
Yeah,
it so much. So, and again,
yeah,
also in comparison to his first two 990 V6s, I didn't love it as much. So, I think we're
yeah,
pretty happy with the B tier there. And again, when we put like at the end of the list, we might want to order a few, and we may have to do some shuffling. But I think we're
yeah.
on a roll here. I think the B tier is pretty good for that one. Next one we've got is the Kobe eggplants. These man, I can't remember a shoe that looks as kind of how do I describe it? Like they do the Chinese New Year stuff, and this shoe
Yeah.
with the Kobe's, year of the Mamba, it's year of the snake. I cannot remember a shoe that fits the kind of mantra of Nike and Kobe and all of that like more perfectly than this shoe, especially with that gold piping with the snake right there. It looks super cool. Kobe's, of course, super great ball shoes. Like everyone wears them in the NBA. Where do you think this one should land?
This is a tough one for me, bro, because Kobe's in general aren't really like big in the UK, like at all. Um, like I don't think I've ever seen one on anyone's feet in the wild, kind of thing.
Yeah, right.
The details on these are really nice, and
Mm-hmm.
I get that it meets the like the whole like Black Mamba thing, um, or Mamba thing.
Yeah,
See, I don't
yeah,
even know. That's the problem. Like, so, but I, to be honest, haven't even seen these before.
yeah.
Um, they're not something that we really get much exposure to, or is talked about a lot in the UK. To be honest with you, mate. So
Mm-hmm.
these for me would be like D, but that's just
D.
because yeah, and that might be rogue. I might be a hot take, bro. But in the UK, it's just not a thing, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. No, that's fair. To be honest, I haven't seen them. Like I lie. I have seen them once in a shop, so they were sitting for a little bit. Not that that really matters too much, but I have like seen them in person, and they are very nice. And like I guess I suppose iridescent kind of nature of them. How do I describe it? Like the eggplant part right there, it looks super cool. Like it shines. It has this sort of greenish shimmer when you put it in the light. So I think just simply because of the details and the Kobe stuff, I'm pretty happy putting it in. I reckon in the B tier.
Okay,
Does that set okay
okay.
with you? I think.
It's okay with me. Yeah, like I say, I'm not. I don't feel qualified to comment on this one because I don't play basketball either.
Yeah.
It's just really not um, part of the UK kind of culture at the minute, as
Yeah.
far as I know, anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's cool.
I know basketball isn't. Yeah, it's obviously not the top tier sport in the UK, but
Mm.
I mean, what's going on. Kobe's and all that sort of
Yeah,
thing.
no,
So
of course.
yeah.
I'm relatively familiar with Kobe's, but because they're just not talked about as much,
Mm-hmm.
and like I don't know anyone who's ever said to me, "I really want this pair of Kobe's coming
Mm.
up."
Well, there's
I've
another
never.
pair. There's another pair coming up that I think you're gonna maybe want to look at,
Okay, all
and I
right.
think you might know what it is.
I'm not
Um,
saying Kobe's bad. I'm just saying I've not heard someone say that to me. You know what I mean?
nice. Well, our next one is our Jound 993. This is I guess it was the olive colorway. I'm not going to talk about the top colorway. The bottom one is kind of the one that actually released to kind of more of a general public release.
Okay.
This one, I'm going to have a hot take, and people don't like my hot take about Jound, but I'm going to put this in the D tier.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it in the D tier. I'll give you my reason. It looks exactly the same as the 992 and the 991 that was released. It's just a different silhouette. Hot take. Obviously, Jound is meant for their simplicity. They're, of course, going to be, subtle and laid back. But for me, it's rather lazy and a bit of a cash grab.
Yeah, I agree. I think Jound, all their collabs are like that, aren't they? They're all just kind of like
Yeah.
an existing silhouette with Jound on it somewhere. And you could potentially argue that that's the point, but I agree. I think it's boring, and like I just don't get it or see the point. So yeah, I'm not against that, bro. That's fine with me. I mean, the shoe's clean, the colorway's clean, but like it's not.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy Jound. I enjoy Jound putting things like on different sneakers, like different silhouettes. But when it's the same colorway on just a different silhouette, like 3 times, they've done it 3 times now. I
like it when they do something interesting. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like they've done some Salomon shoes. They've done some really nice kind of general release, like sort of lower model, like not the 990s. They've done some really nice kind of mainline kind of shoes. So I kind of like those ones. But I'm sorry to any Jound fans, but I feel very comfortable putting that in the D tier. It was very hyped. It did sell out, but I think that it's a little bit played out, in my opinion. So people are going to really hate that take. But
yeah, I kind of feel like have like super low stock levels so that no matter what, it'll sell out. Do you know what
exactly.
I mean?
Yep. Well, our next one is I know we're going to have opinions about this one. The Travis Scott Field Jacks. I can't remember the colorway. It was kind of like what was it, chocolate? I've literally got them sitting behind me. I could check, but light chocolate. Yeah, right. Yeah, it was like man. I want to hear what you have to say first about these.
Okay. I really like these. I've got my pair behind me there. You can't see it, it's behind the ones, but I really, really like these. I think they're underrated. I actually think they're one of Travis Scott's best collaborations with Nike/Jordan because it's different. The colorway is clean. Some people hate the colorway, which I don't get because it's literally like brown, white, and sail. Like it just looks super clean to me. And it's so comfortable as well. Like I'm taking mine on the America trip I mentioned earlier because I'm just gonna be able to walk all day in them, you know?
Yeah.
So I would put these like high on the list, like probably like an A. Because I just really like them, man. I like the way it looks. The midsole is sick. Like I say, they're comfortable.
I'm in the A right now, so that would be the first A.
Yeah, I would say at least A for myself. But I understand that these are a bit of a Marmite shoe, bro, which is surprising, really, because I don't get why people don't like them. I don't know what other people are seeing that I'm not. I really like these. What are your thoughts?
What's a Marmite shoe?
Like, you never heard that before?
We have Vegemite here in Australia. Like, you mean like people love it or they hate it? Is that what you mean?
Yeah. So Marmite, their kind of slogan is like, "Oh, you either love it or you hate it," whatever. So
for the Americans watching, that's a very, very, very strong yeast-based spread that you put on toast. And I always see videos of people, just look it up, Vegemite, people take spoonfuls of it. I'm like, that's not how you're supposed to eat it. You're supposed to have like the tiniest little sliver. Anyway, we're getting off topic. But this one, I am going to put it in the A. I 100% agree. I think that it is very comfortable. People who don't like it probably don't actually have it, to be honest, because if you put it on feet, it's super comfy. Like, to be honest, I really like the comfort of them. So, yeah, I'm very comfortable putting them in the A for sure. I'm glad we agree on that one. And kind of the story around it, kind of, like an in-store release, kind of all the kind of memories you associate to that, kind of making content around it, like that sort of thing. Like, it just looks super cool. I don't even really care that much about Travis Scott association with it. I care more about like just the overall look and the feel of it. It's just a very, very nice sneaker, and the little details too, like the mesh, it's like a woven, almost like flaxen kind of. It's not even synthetic mesh. It's like a cotton mesh, on the toe box.
Yeah, it's so clean, and the little shark teeth on it as well, bro. Yeah, sitting on the back, like the white leather at the heel. Yeah, the kind of way it's textured. Yeah, I like so much about this shoe, man. Like the outsole looks sick. Yeah. Nice. I agree.
Well, that's great. We're putting that first one in the A tier. And now this is going to be our next shoe. This was, I think, early February that one released. What do you think about that one? That is obviously for people who aren't watching, who are listening, it's the black toe reimagined Air Jordan 1 with the Air Jordan writing on the side.
Yeah. This is a tricky one because it's like historically accurate to that original photo shoot with Michael Jordan in, which I think is really, really cool and a really nice detail. The only downside to that is that it does like look worse than the Wings logo. But I like the history behind it. So for me, it's at least a B because it's such a historic shoe. It's a clean colorway. Yeah, I think it's at least a B. Especially if you swap out the laces, I prefer these with like a sail white laces. Personally, I just think breaks up the tongue a bit better for me. But yeah, I think it's just a classic, and it's hard to beat a classic. I know some people really didn't like the Air Jordan text. I didn't mind it. I thought it still looked nice, and yeah. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, bro? I think at least a B.
I'm comfortable with a B. I think the only thing, if it had the Wings logo, I'd put it as an A. But
yeah,
I'm not gonna take away from the people think it's like a brick because it's still, you can still buy this shoe right now, and I just think it's a product of the time that it was released. It got released at the same time as the Breads, almost the same time as the Unions ones. It's just it was bad timing to release this shoe. I know it's the 40th anniversary of the Air Jordan 1, but I think that any other time it would have sold out and had that sort of credentials. So I'm pretty happy with this being in the B slot. That is the Black Toe Reimagined going in the B next to the Untitled 990 V6 Action Bronson and the Eggplant Kobe's. So that is looking like a pretty stacked B section right there. That's pretty nice. We're moving on to our next shoe. This is another Kobe, the All-Star Kobe. Yeah. Now this is a very nice Kobe. Oh man.
Yeah.
This was a bit of a want for me, but then again, because of the time it released, around the February All-Star weekend, this was the shoe that Kobe wore in the All-Star weekend. I just couldn't get it because so many other shoes were releasing. But I do love the way it looks. What do you think?
This is a Kobe that I have seen before and do really like. I think the details are really nice, clean colorway, and like you say, relatively historically significant. I rate this pair for sure. I rate this pair. So yeah, I mean, probably I don't want to say B again because it's already looking quite.
It's gonna be a chunky B section, yeah.
Yeah. Are you thinking? What are you thinking, man?
I'm thinking an A. I'm thinking an A. This is a bit of home run. It's white, it's wearable, it's comfortable. I'm rocking with an A here. That's good for me. Bear with me again for any audio listeners listening to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. This is a very visuals heavy episode. We're having a lot of shoes going on to the tier list, and sorry if there's a little bit of buffering. My computer is doing a lot of heavy lifting right now, trying to keep up with all of this images and videos that I'm throwing at it. So we're going to move on to our next one before my computer blows up. It is the aforementioned Bread 85s. Yes, this is the Air Jordan 1 Bread 85, which was pretty much released at the same time as the one we spoke about before, the Black Toe Reimagined. And again, this was supposed to be the most true to the original shoe. I think that Nike kind of screwed us a little bit with the release. It seemed like every influencer who wanted them got them, athletes got them and all that, but it seemed like the general public were basically either forced to pay resale or didn't get them. I know you kind of wanted them and didn't get them. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I guess so. Ridiculously good pair of shoes. I love the fact that they tried to make it as historically accurate as they could to the 85 pair. I think that's so sick, and I love that they did that. I really don't love how I couldn't get them though.
Yeah.
But I think the colorway is obviously it's just what's the word I'm looking for here? Just godly almost. Do you know what I mean? I don't know how to word it really. Just it's the GOAT Jordan 1 colorways for sure. In terms of historical significance and stuff. I really wanted this pair, man. The only thing I would caveat that with is that I've seen they're doing a Chicago 85, and I absolutely want that more. So it is up there, but it's not the absolute GOAT. I would say for me, Chicago is the GOAT. So need that pair. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, I would say possibly even top tier for these, man, based on the releases
Yeah.
we've had so far. Yeah, the only it loses points for the way they were released and how difficult they were
Yeah.
to get, and like you say about the
Yeah.
everyone else like it was whatever seeming to get them, but
If you're putting these in a
you,
vacuum, I think like just within the top 1/3 of the year, I think these are an S.
yeah,
Like they have
yeah.
to be. I think I wouldn't be able to show my face in a sneaker convention ever again if I didn't put these in an S tier because yeah, they're the original. They're like the very first shoe that Jordan ever like debuted, and I think it's the 40th year. Like it was a great sort of rollout. Again, of course, it doesn't quite meet our expectations in terms of being able to get them at a reasonable price or release amount, but I just think that they just belong at the S. That's kind of
Yeah,
where I feel they sit.
we're on the same page. Yeah, I
Nice,
agree.
man. Let's see if we get some controversy here. The Galaxy Foam Posit. This is
Ooh,
of course, a retro of a shoe that released a long time ago and caused a huge stir. Everyone knows the story of the Galaxy Foam Posit. Kind of I wouldn't say the originator of sneaker culture, but man, like it really started something in terms of like reselling because these are going for a huge amount of money if they're an original pair, and obviously this retro brought those prices down a bit. But I'm really, really interested to know what you think about this one.
um, so I was never like when these released. What was it like 2012, 2011, that kind of time, something like
Mm-hmm.
that. I want to say that kind of early 2010s. I was missed the boat on these. Never seen them. Never wanted them. So I
Yeah.
missed the initial hype.
Yeah.
Therefore, when they were brought back around, I was like,
Yeah.
nah,
Yeah.
didn't even enter for them, bro, to be honest. I know
Mm-hmm.
that like a lot of people were like super hyped to have them back and stuff, but I missed that initial boat. And if you look at them like with a modern kind of eyes look,
Mm.
they are ugly. That's going to get me killed with a lot of people, and they're a special pair and historically important, and the details and cool, and they were done right in terms of the retro. But as a pair of shoes, I wouldn't wear these. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's only because I obviously wasn't around at the time when it was all kind of booting off, so I don't have that nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, that's kind of my hot take on them, bro. But I
Fair.
also appreciate and understand that, like,
Mm-hmm.
that's only because I wasn't in the like ingrained in the culture at the time and I missed the boat. So that's more on me than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you probably disagree with that, but
Not really, to be honest. I am feeling a very solid B tier here.
yeah,
I don't love like I think it's a great like art piece. I just don't think it's very wearable, and I'm all about wearing the shoes that you buy. Like if I can't put this together with some sort of outfit or something, like not really feeling it. And I don't really play basketball, so and you wouldn't really play basketball in these anyway. So they're not exactly modern technology. So I'm feeling a B. You agree with that one?
yeah, I think it would probably annoy a lot of people if we put it any lower.
Yeah,
So yeah,
it's a very
I would
stacked
say
B tier. That's
it is.
it's
It
going to
is.
get even
We've
more
had.
stacked.
I know. I know. Well, maybe we'll have to rearrange, but
Exactly. Yeah. It's been, I mean,
yeah.
as I said before, it's been a huge year already. Like, it's crazy how busy it's been already. So, we'll move on to our next one, which is the Flu Games, Flu Game 12s.
Games.
I'm just going to kick us off. I'm just going to start. I'm thinking a C. I
Yeah.
just my bias. I just don't see it. I'm sorry. They're
Yeah.
uncomfortable. I've tried 12s on before. They're super uncomfortable for me. All leather. It's hot. I live in a warm climate, and I really struggle with that sort of heavy. And I understand.
Yeah.
I understand the history behind it. I just don't. I just not feeling it. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's like I just promise you, I'm not just saying this. I agree again. I think as like a pair of shoes, like yeah, 12s don't really do it for me that much.
Yeah.
And this colorway is fine. It's all right, and I
Yeah.
get the historical significance. But if I saw these for like I don't know, like even £100, I probably wouldn't buy them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just
Fair.
me. But
No, fair enough.
yeah,
Yeah, I think we're in agreement, and I think that it's okay to. acknowledge that you have a like no context around a shoe. Like if you were born in the 80s and you've watched Michael Jordan and you saw him do this and you were like a huge Michael Jordan fan, you'd love this shoe. But for me, I'm just like, ah. And so I acknowledge that we don't have the context. But this is, hey, guess what? This is our tier list. And if you don't like it, go make your own. So this is the Flu Game 12s again for any audio listeners. We put that in our C tier right next to the Black Cat Jordan 3s. The next one we've got is a pair that Joe has. This is the Nike SB4 in the navy. Now, you're the only one who's actually got these in hand, so I think you should be the authority on where these go in the tier list.
Yeah. Oh. I think, to be fair, these have got to be an A, I reckon, bro. Because they're really, really solid and really, really strong, and they've come at the perfect time for summer and stuff. But they're just not that level of like the bread ones, you know. They're like, if it was the pine greens, they would be they would be the S tier if they were the pine greens. Just based on it being a slightly better colorway in my eyes. But these are so good, man. Like I said, I've got them here. The extra padding and stuff is like makes it so much more comfortable. I love the gum outsole, just like details on there. I think that's sick. Little red details, the red air bubble, clean as hell. These are significantly more comfortable. The Nike SB on the back, just such a nice detail. Like I'm a sucker for the logos they put on the back, like so Nike Air or whatever. Like I just love it. I do think like before I had these in hand, I probably would have put them in like a B. But now that I've had them in hand and I've like put them on, and I'm like, oh, actually, these are really nice. I'm thinking a solid A, to be honest, bro.
Solid A. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm feeling you. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those shoes. I didn't get to say it before when you were showing them, but I feel it's one of those shoes that it looks better when I see it on like an outfit. It's one of those, like it's very complimentary. It's one of those shoes that really flows with an outfit, and it's kind of has its own pizzazz, but it's not the star of the show, if you know what I mean, and that's okay that it's not the star so much.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, man. Like I say, before I had them in hand, I was like, yeah, they're okay, but like I might just pass on them. I got them in, and I was like, and then I put them on with a fit, bro, with like nice pair of jeans or like shorts, and they really just like you say, complement the outfit really, really nicely. So you're not wrong there.
Yep, fair enough. Well, that's the Nike SB. This is the navy blue. That's gone in the A tier for all our audio listeners. This is a tough one. This is the Union Jordan 1 in the Shadow and Chicago colorway. This one was Joe's, I guess, in your hit list for the year, and unfortunately, it didn't quite hit for you. No. So not that you got them and you didn't like them, but that you just couldn't get them at all. And I'm very, very sorry that you couldn't get those. So where do you want to put these ones?
I think realistically, if I'm being honest, myself, it's got to be an S for me. I really, really rate these. They're not perfect. There's things about them that I would change if it was up to me.
Yeah.
But they, for me, like the Union Jordan 1 collab in general is like one of my favorite collabs ever.
Yeah.
And the fact that we have it, we were given a Chicago Shadow colorway, which we kind of asked for, really, because I remember when they first had the Storm Blues and the is it Storm Blue? The blue one anyway, and the black tones.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, oh, imagine they did a Chicago Shadow. And I remember seeing mock-ups and being like, yo, that would go crazy. Yeah. And they actually made it.
Nice.
And I think the Chicago is such an iconic, there's no other word but iconic for the Chicago colorway. And like wearable as well. With the shadow works really nicely.
Yeah.
The only things I would change is I'm not sure on the blue stitching. And also the yellow laces I'm not a big fan of because it makes it look a bit like McDonald's-y.
Yeah.
But when they look like that, unreal. And like with it, they look sick. And I really wish I could get these. So as for me, bro, what are you thinking?
I wish there was a category between S and A.
Yeah.
That's for me, but I think we're splitting hairs here, so I'm pretty happy putting that in the S. I'm going to be with you there.
Okay.
I think that the S is kind of where it deserves to be. Union, history, the kind of significance. I just think that, I'm happy with it being in the S. I do wish that there are some things that I would change about it. I guess, how do I describe it? You know how the Bread 85s, we spoke about that. It's very true to the original, and I kind of wish that this one had that sort of cut. It does have a little bit too much of a puffy kind of ankle collar. That's a little bit annoying. I kind of wish that there was a bit more aging around the on the mid panels, on the white panels. It's very white. It's almost blue. So that's my feeling. That there's little things, but I mean, I'm nitpicking. It's an epic kind of colorway, and I think that as you can see, it deserves to be up the S. And again, it's crazy that it released in February, which was seeming to be like the most crazy month of all time when it comes to the Jordan 1, which is obviously the 40th anniversary, so it kind of deserves to be. But that is the Union Jordan 1 going in the S tier. Next is this is actually a picture of the Air Max 95 Neon 2020 version. I'm just realizing I probably should have grabbed the 2025, but we are talking about the 2025, which released, I think, when was it? Like 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago? Yeah. 2 weeks ago. This one, I've seen so many images. This is, the big bubble, the return of the neon. And for me, like I showed before, I got the 2020 version. And if this 2025 version, which I've heard is actually way more comfortable, and the, more cushioning, the bubble, I'm absolutely in love with them. And I wish that I could grab a pair, but they haven't actually released in Australia here yet. So I'm going to put this one in the A.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, I agree. It's OG colorway on a classic Air Max model.
Yeah.
I'm a big sucker for OG colorways. Typically, if you ask me like what my favorite colorway on Air Max X, I'll say the OG.
Yeah.
So I'm not mad at that. I'm not huge on the neons myself.
Yeah.
Only because I'll tell you one thing. Do you know what the In-Betweeners is? The TV program.
I watched the In-Betweeners, yeah, for sure. That made it all the way to Australia, definitely.
That's funny. So Jay in the In-Betweeners is always wearing these shoes. So that I kind of always think of him.
Bus wankers.
Pardon?
Bus wankers. Oh, friend. Oh, friend. Oh, he's got a friend. Oh, bus friend. Yeah.
Iconic, bro. I fucking love that program. Sorry.
That's pretty. That's pretty funny. I forgot what's his name. Simon. Simon was my favorite in that show. Just to digress. Yeah. Simon, the In-Betweeners. Who was the girl he had? Carly. That was right. The crush he had on Carly.
Carly. Yeah. He just gets to go off with Tara, didn't he?
Yeah. Man, that was a good show. We're gonna move on. I met
James Bucky before. Jay. I met James Bucky, the guy who plays him.
Yeah, right.
London. That was fun. Good guy.
Underrated, the movie. Actually underrated.
Yeah.
Legit pretty good.
Yeah, so good.
Pretty good movie.
Yeah.
Not going to lie. So move on from the Air Max 95. This is the Yuto Horigome. This is the matcha colorway. Some people were calling it the asparagus when it first kind of leaked, I suppose. But yeah, the matcha colorway feels a little bit more appropriate because the Yuto Horigome, the skateboarder, is Japanese. So matcha being a sort of Japanese drink. This is a good one. This is a great one. Having actually got them in hand, this one is pretty epic, and I'm not going to put it. I'm going to put in. I feel the A. That's just my. You're not feeling it. You're not feeling the A.
So a few things with this shoe. Just for me personally, you've got them in hand, so you're better equipped to answer the question. I don't wear Dunks anymore.
Yeah.
Not because I won't, just because they're uncomfortable. And the colorway doesn't really do it for me. I don't really know who Yuto is it Yuto Horigome?
Yuto Horigome. Yeah.
Yuto Horigome. I don't really know kind of who he is, so I don't have that connection with it either. The colorway isn't my thing. So it's just not for me personally.
Yeah.
And I don't really know much about like the details on the shoe or whatever. But like from looking at the shoe, I'm like, it's okay. So I'm kind of biased against it, if you know what I mean.
Okay. Fair enough. I think you look at the shoes that we've already got there. I feel, to me, it's better than the B tier. And I feel it's kind of on par with the A tier. Like,
okay.
I just feel like with the materials are the materials are like awesome. The suede is awesome. The comfort is great. The kind of story around it. Yeah, I feel it's an A, if that's okay.
Yeah, man, you go. It's your podcast. You can do it. I would put it lower. But I didn't like his first pair either. To be honest, I didn't like the colorway on that either. So maybe it's just his style isn't for me, and that's fine. But
I think these are better than that colorway. Like that's just
I
my
agree.
opinion.
I do agree. Yeah. But they're still not for me. But that's just my personal preference.
They're not for you. So yeah, I just feel like if you're putting an SB4 navy in the A, I think that it
fair enough
belongs there. That's what I'm saying. We're gonna have to put some. I think we're gonna have to reshuffle some of these because but I love everything that's in the A right there. Like that's a really good A. Anyway, we'll move on and see if we can push a couple of them down or pull a couple of them up. Here's the ones that I was talking about before. The Kobe 8s. This is a release that happened very recently. I think this is probably the most recent shoe that's released on this entire list. A re-release of it's a mashup of a whole bunch of different Kobe colorways. It has a whole bunch of history with it. I'm not going to go all the way into it. It's we're trying to keep this nice and condensed, but because it has a huge amount of history about it. If you want to look up the history on the Kobe's, but these colors are crazy. I don't know how wearable they are. They're comfortable. They will be very comfortable because Kobe's are always incredibly comfortable, and especially for playing basketball in. What are your thoughts on this one, and where should they go?
I typically always love a what the colorway. I like kind of mashup shoes. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
These are no exception to that. Cool. I like the mixes colors and stuff. Again, I'm kind of in that position where I'm like, Kobe's don't really mean much to me.
Yeah.
So like, would I wear this? Probably not. But I can appreciate the kind of history behind it and the details, and I like the fact that it's a mashup of previous colorways. So I'm happy for you to take the lead on this.
Where do you feel? No, this. You have a go.
All right. I would put it in like C or D, to be honest, bro. But that's just because it just doesn't mean anything to me,
Yeah. Okay.
I do think they are better than the eggplant Kobe's we have in B's, saying that. So, like, I'd wear them before I'd wear the eggplant ones, I think. But again, I haven't seen them in hand. But
I'm gonna. That is very tough. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna put them in. I'm feeling a B.
Yeah, we're gonna have to with the other Kobe's in there. Yeah. I think that makes sense.
I think that's a B right there. What else we got? So yeah, I'm thinking in the B. You got the Galaxies, the Air Jordan 1 Black Toes, all of that. I'm liking that B section, but I think that a couple more that we've got coming up might push them out. We might have to rearrange. Heavy. This is the next one. This is for the audio listeners. This is the Bike Air Jordan 4 Nigel Sylvester's. Take it away, Joe. This is one that you've got in hand. I do not.
Yes. I would definitely put these in the S tier, without question. These are obviously in a conversation for sneaker of the year. Mm-hmm. We've got a lot of year left before we make any calls, but everything on this pair is spot on. The details, the storytelling, the release. I think they nailed this pair, to be honest. I do think they look better with the sail laces. Just because it kind of ties with that kind of midsole.
100%. Yeah.
Only pain in the ass for them is that the red bleeds onto the laces, but what can you do? But yeah, super clean. Not the most wearable for me personally, because I wouldn't typically wear like an all red, burnt orange shoe. But lovely kind of pop of color. Yeah. Just really, really nice. The mini swoosh. Yeah. Honestly, bro, the detail is a lush on these.
I'm definitely going to have to get try and find a good deal on a pair. Like, it's going to be hard, but I'm going to have to try and, take some bids, see if there's a used pair somewhere, eBay, contacts, all that sort of like GOAT, StockX. Just going to have to keep, pounding the door, put a bid in and just see how we go. But man, I think we both know where this is going to go. I think we both know where this has got to go. Yeah. I think it's got to go in the S. I think that this is...
No doubt.
I think that it's going to be definitely like in the top 5 of most people's, sneaker of the year list at the end of the year.
At least.
So I think that's where that one is definitely going to go. If my tier list would actually work, there it is. Yeah, there we go. So that's a crazy top tier list there. In the S tier, you got the breads, the unions, the brick by brick. Yeah, I feel that's where this one deserves to go. Our next one. Oh, this one just released, like literally just released a couple of days ago. This is the Amazonia pair of the New Balance 990 V6 from Action Bronson. I want this pair, but I'm not going to be devastated if I don't get it. What do you think?
Yeah, I've never seen this colorway before. I can't lie. It's the first time I've seen it. And typically Action Bronson colorways take me a while to get used to because they're just so like, it looks like he's just hit random on like a color wheel every time. But, you know, typically I do go to like them. First glance, I'm not a huge fan. Well, just yeah, I don't know.
Apparently he got given a gift of like a flower, like a succulent flower. And apparently
a flower's...
A succulent is a flower.
Oh right, it's a type of flower. I thought you meant the flower was described as like succulent.
No. Like like the little. It carries water in it and stuff. You know, like it's really like like the little jelly. It's not jelly. It's like a squishy flower. You know, that's what I call them, squishy flowers. My wife collects them. Apparently he got one of those, and the grey and kind of orange, like grey bits at the bottom was the gravel that it came in, like the little pot, and then the the brown there was kind of the, I guess, the stem, and then all the colors at the top were kind of the colors of the flower. So that's kind of where he got his inspiration. He kind of has a bit of a story, but you know, with the amount of weed that he smokes, he's probably might have imagined that the colors. So, but I like them, but I'm feeling that these are going to be in the C tier.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I wouldn't put many higher than that at all.
Yeah,
I'd possibly even go D myself, but
D. Yeah, I mean, I like Action Bronson. Like, I like his
I like him too.
His style. I like his style. I like his kind of demeanor. It's laid back. It's kind of different from a lot of other creators where they're like, you know, super hyped all the time, and like his shoes are super hyped, but he's not that hyped. Like he's just a chill dude.
I like that he's so chill, but his shoes are so loud. That's quite cool. But and don't get me wrong, like I rate what he's doing. And New Balance are doing great things with him. Just this colorway, at first glance, I'm like, it's not for me.
It's definitely not as good as, even like I've got them right here. Pride of Place, the lazuli, lapis lazuli, like that's the best for me. But you know, you can't beat an original. That's you know, you're saying you love OG colorways, like that's the kind of one of the OG Action Bronson kind of colorways. All of the colorways that he does in the next year or 2 years or whatever he does, it's going to be hard to live up to what he's done. And I think he's doing a good job, but like when you come out of the gates that hard, it's hard to, you know, if these were the first ones, I think people would still be excited, but we're just not as excited as we were for his first ones. That is the Amazonia 990 V6 going in the C tier. Next up, we have the Salehi Bembury 991 V2s, the pretty much all purple, you know, New Balance. I love a 991 V2. It's one of my favorite silhouettes. It's super comfortable. I love the styling. I love the like angular portions of it. I love the colorway. Salehi Bembury, of course, everyone knows him. It's, you know, super hyped up collaborator with not only New Balance, Crocs, and all the other brands that he does work with. But I know you're not like a huge kind of New Balance guy, but what do you think about this one on initial first look?
I prefer them to the last Action Bronsons we just seen. I think the colorway's nice. I like the green on the kind of sock liner.
Yes.
Real nice. I do think they're better than the last pair, but I do think they probably sit in the same category for me, same tier for me.
So putting them there, you're thinking a C.
I think so. They're really nice though, and if I seen someone wearing them, I go, "Oh, those are nice." Yeah. But like, I mean, probably that's what I would say. What are you thinking?
I mean, to be honest, my impressions are a little bit jaded. I was very annoyed that I couldn't get these in Australia, but I mean, if I got annoyed at every time I couldn't get a shoe in Australia, I'd probably just be annoyed all the time. So I'm gonna let that slide, and I guess I'm with you though. I think it belongs in the sea. It's nice. I was very kind of annoyed that I didn't get it, but I wasn't like ready to pay resale immediately like I do with some other shoes. So I'm pretty okay with this being in the sea, just to be honest. So Salehi Bembury, love him, love his stuff. Just going to go in the sea right there. So as you can see right there, you have the Black Cat, the 12 Flu Games, the Amazonia, and the Salehi Bembury going in the C tier. We are, looking back on all these, it's just crazy how busy this year has been so far.
Yes.
The next one we're going to have a look at is another pair that I do actually have, is the Armand Meunier Jordan 3s. I was actually wearing them like today. Wore them today, and the I think they're called the For the Love is the kind of the name for it. Don't like that's the name that Armand Meunier have given them, but they're like a diffused blue was kind of the colorway name.
Diffused blue.
Yeah. Oh, super nice. I love the blue. Love the clean. The clean white, the cream midsole. What are your thoughts?
I really like these. I'd probably say B or A. I haven't had them in hand, which I feel like if I did have them in hand, I'd probably be like going nuts over them.
Yeah.
The only thing they kind of lose points for me is the mudguard. I would probably have preferred it if they used a lighter, because it's like a dark gray, like black almost on the mudguard, whereas on the first three they did, it was like a light gray. I think that would have complemented the blue better.
Okay.
But then it does add contrast, so and I don't have them in hand, so I couldn't tell you. But I would say probably B or A for these. I really liked them actually. I did go for them, but didn't get them.
Yeah, I'm thinking. To be honest, I'm thinking A. I've got them in hand. I think the comfort is amazing. I love threes. I love the packaging. I love the like quilted sock liner, like on the inside, like the details on it.
Missed all the details on the packaging and stuff by not having them, and I feel like if I did have that, I would probably be saying A. So I'm not mad at that at all.
Yeah, I think A, and man, that's a stacked A tier right there. I wonder if I can fit that in there. Does that? There you go. It expands a little bit. There you go. Nice.
Oh, good.
As we said before, this is the first time doing one of these tier lists, so there you go. Yeah. Bear with us. That is a hugely stacked A tier. You got the Travis Scott, the Kobe's, the SB4s, the Neons, the Yuta Horigome, and the Armand Meunier 3s. So, man, that all is
deserve their place, though. Do you know what I mean? You look at that, and I'm not like, oh no, that's not actually an A. They're all A's.
Yeah. Absolutely. And that is, I'm not sure which one's next, but there you go. Luck of the draw. Another Armand Meunier. This is the Armand Meunier 95, the hand wash cold. It's kind of the follow up to their last Air Max 95 that they released. I was again a little bit annoyed that I couldn't get them. I didn't win the draw, but they actually like sat on shelves in America, so a lot of people were able to pick these up. Not a lot of love for them. I think for this one, I don't know. What do you think? I'll give my opinion first. I think that the thing where it falls down, in my opinion, is the midsole. Like the color of the midsole. I would have either preferred it to be black or like that really nice green that's kind of in the middle. Like that kind of dirty gray is, I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me. You know what I mean? That's my take. So for me, I'm thinking like the C tier.
Oh, I would lean more towards B, and I'll tell you why. A few things.
Okay.
I like this colorway. I agree that green would have slapped on the midsole. That would have been really, really nice. I really like the details on this. The washing symbols they put on there, I think, is really cool. That's actually a motif that I started my clothing brand in 2020, right? And back at the time, it was called Join the Hustle Clothing Supply, and one of the motifs was putting the washing symbols on it.
Oh yeah.
So I used all my designs. So to see that on a shoe, I was like, and I'm not saying Armand Meunier copied me at all because I was, but like, I'm drawn to that because it was my idea as well. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, I seen that, I was like, oh, that looks sick. And obviously, I did it myself because I thought it looked cool. So seeing it on his shoe, I was like, yo, that's really, really cool. So I'm kind of like drawn to that as well. I like the colors on the upper as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. No, I'm with you. I'm with you. B tier. You convinced me. I think I think if I could find these at a decent price, like the details super nice. There you go. Pop it into B tier there. That is a very, very nice solid B tier right there. I'm very happy with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice. That is I think we've got like 6 more to go. So, I mean, it's looking like a pretty stacked list already. Like there's not much room up the top there. Like, and the thing that I'm looking at the S tier, just quickly off the bat, a lot of red.
Yeah, I was thinking that as well, you know.
A lot of red in 2025, which normally for me, I'm not a huge fan of red, but this year just seems to be flowing. So we'll continue on. Oh, this is the Kith 991 V2, the Osaka pack that was released. Man, another 991 V2. I might upset some people and say that this, I think, belongs in like the C tier. Maybe even the D tier, because it looks exactly like a previous existing colorway.
Yeah, I agree. I thought you were going to say how much you like these then. I was going to have to be like,
no.
Really... Yeah, no, I agree. I think the colorway itself is a bit lackluster to me.
Yeah.
A little bit uninspiring. Doesn't really pop. Like you say, you've seen it before.
Yeah.
Big gift, but these aren't it for me. I wouldn't even like. I'd see them on the street and be like, yeah.
Yeah.
Fine.
It pretty much just looks like a slightly faded version of a couple of different colorways that we've already seen. And you know, with the kind of Kith, the made in USA or even the made in UK lines, they're always very, very good material. So I don't think even putting the Kith, I guess, material seal of approval on it is going to mean anything. So I'm pretty happy putting these. What do you think? Is C or D?
I mean, based on putting the Jound ones in D, I reckon D, bro, to be honest.
Okay. This is going to hurt putting 2 New Balances in D. Far out. That's brutal. I think I've messed that up. But yeah, D, there you are. So, Kith, I'm sorry. We'll get to you a little bit later. There's another one coming up. Oh, there you go. Speak of the devil. There it is. That is the 992 version of the Osaka pack, which came along, when was it? I think it was early April. Yeah, I'm going to say early April. That was a crazy time, and I tried to get both of these, but couldn't quite get either of them. I did get a kind of a consolation prize, so to speak. I got those 997.5s, which some people might have picked up. I don't know if you saw those ones, Joe.
No.
The Easter pack was what they were called. I'll throw a photo of them up in post. But yeah, they were a really nice kind of, I guess, consolation to me not getting these ones. So I was
again. Let me quickly Google. What was that?
997.5. So it's basically a mixture of the 997 and 998 with the upper and the midsole. So I actually wore them today because the day we're recording this is Easter, like Easter Sunday. So happy Easter to everyone, just by the way. So hope you all had a good day at church or whatever you're doing, having family lunches. So that is kind of a bit of a divulgence from what we're actually talking about, which is the Kith 992s. But yeah, this one for me, I feel it belongs a solid A.
Yeah,
what are your thoughts?
I think they're definitely better than the previous pair. I don't have the connection with them to put them at A, but I'm not like super mad at it. I think the 992 is a really, really nice model. The colorway is just not hitting for me.
Yeah.
But I haven't heard much about this shoe, and by the sounds of it, you've done your research on it. So you can put it in A. I'll allow it on this occasion.
I think we'll put it in A just because I love the colors. People I've spoken to have had it in hand, and the materials are so nice. Like, I'm going to put that right there, as you can see.
Yeah, that's cool.
In the A section, and that A, if I had, how many have I got of those? I've got like 3 of those, so I'm pretty happy with that sort of A section. That's very nice. The next one we're going to have a chat is maybe going to be, it's going to be the DN8. This is the Nike DN8 in, I put the pink colorway there because that was kind of the one that they initially kind of, I guess, previewed, but they've released like 1,000 different colorways of these, and I've purchased one to just see how it is, just as kind of general interest, just to see how it feels on feet. Some people have said it's awesome. Some people have said it sucks. What do you think about this one?
Middle of the road, man. They're comfy and they look okay with certain fits. They're not my thing, to be honest.
Yeah.
And they're the kind of thing that, especially, I don't know what it's like in Australia, but like in the UK, these will just be like, and this kind of style will kind of just be taken over by kind of
criminals.
Yeah. Like, yeah, just like, like the people that don't really do that well, and just buy the newest Nike shoe just because it's the newest Nike shoe. And the kind of people who wear this shoe or shoes like this, kind of ruin a lot of them. And I was never a big fan anyway, so it just like they drift off to relevancy for me.
But in the tier list, where are you going to put them?
Bro, like they're comfy, but like probably F. Like,
I was about to say this might be the first F.
Yeah, they're ugly, man. And like they are comfy, and like I see certain fits with them, and I'm like, yeah, cool, but they're just gonna drift off into, like I say, irrelevancy, because like they just don't have that much about them, and they're not that different from the DNs, and
yeah, I just think, and the price point is very high too for a very synthetic shoe.
Yeah, man. They're just not it, sadly.
Yeah. Okay.
You know?
Yeah, I agree. We got to have at least one in the F. Like that's I think that's a definite, put it down there. Sorry, but you'll be forgotten in like a couple of years. You'll probably find these for half price, if not more than that, soon. So just wait your time. If you're really wanting one of these, just wait. The next one, which may actually be going on sale soon. This is the Lucky Shorts. This is the Jordan 3s that kind of were a little bit unheralded. A lot of people slept on this one, but you didn't.
Yeah, I really, really like this pair. I've named them in a couple of my videos as like one of the most underrated shoes, one of the best summer shoes.
Yeah.
These are so clean, man. Like they're so, I don't get what people aren't seeing it. And the quality of the materials are so nice as well. The leather is insanely soft. That UNC kind of blue, the details on the inner tongue. I don't know if you've seen it in my video, but like it's got like the size print like a pair of shorts on the inner tongue. The light suede at the mud guard. Man, these are sick. They have the Jumpman on the back, which is a bit peak, but peak means bad. I don't know if that's another UK slang thing that that came up last time, but bro, I'm a huge fan of these, and I feel like I don't know, they're so slept on. I don't know why, really. They're so underrated. Perfect for summer. Like, yeah, man, these are sick.
Nice. Well, I'm in the tier list. Where are you thinking,
bro?
I was thinking B.
Yeah, for sure. Like they're not on like Ama Manier or Travis Scott or Nike SB level, but they're up there, man. So yeah, at least B, I would say.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a pretty nice kind of area. I think that they're good, but they're not great, and I think that people saw that, and again, they got released in the wrong time. Like just wrong timing. I think just sometimes the calendar gets a little bit too stacked in the February kind of area, and I think that they probably should have waited just a little bit longer. But yeah, that is a very, very solid B tier there for the Lucky Shorts. The next one is going to be the Bread 5.
So much has released this year.
Not the Bread.
When you put it in like this, and you're like, oh my god, like, this has been a crazy year, hasn't it, already?
Sorry, I said the Bread 5. This is the Metallic 5. Sorry, just had a brain slip there. But yeah, this is like you said, it's crazy how much is already released this year. And this is a shoe that I didn't grab, was not interested in, not really a huge fan of 5s. So I think this is going to be your call here on this one.
So with this pair, I'm a big fan. I feel like if they released at the start of winter, I'd have been like so much more like hot on them, because I feel like they're like a perfect winter shoe. I feel like when did they release it? It was like beginning of the year, wasn't it?
Yeah,
so
it's like early February, maybe late January.
Yeah, so like it was just as like winter is like not like done, but like coming to a close in a way. So I was like not as hot on them because I knew like in like a month or two, like I wouldn't really wear it as much.
Yeah.
But that's just me. Like you could wear these with shorts, to be fair, especially with like the white laces. So clean with them. I'm a huge fan of these. The white laces are sick. The piping is really cool. Like the reflective bits. That icy midsole. I'm a sucker for a translucent outsole. Sorry, not midsole. The speckling, the silver tongue. Yeah, the red details. So nice. Reimagine. Jordan can sometimes mess up the Reimagine series. They absolutely didn't with these. I think these are awesome. Tier list. Let's have a look. Yeah, it got to be an A, I reckon.
It's got to be an A. Okay. Yeah, righto. I think that I'll defer to your knowledge here because I think that, we'll put it in the A section. For me, I was never going to get them for a couple of reasons. I think that I'm not a huge fan of fives. I have very, like, not skinny legs, but I have long legs. So whenever I have like 2 pairs of fives and they always fit like super big. They look weird on my feet. It's just kind of an odd fit. And you said it was coming to the end of your winter. It was pretty much towards the middle of our summer when they released. And there is no way I'm going to wear fives in 32-degree heat with like 95% humidity. I'm sorry. There's just no way. So I think that was a definite like pass for multiple reasons, you know. Just the time they released, the sizing on me, all those sort of things just made me just pass on them. Sorry for anyone who loves fives, but they are going in the A section because Joe loves them. So that's where they're going to go. I think we have one more in my list here, and this is undoubtedly, for me, so far, the sneaker of the year. It's the Joe Freshgoods 992, the aged well pair. For me, right now, this is number one for me. I'm sorry, but this is the S tier. No,
no debate.
No debate. This is S. Has to be.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm not like super mad at that. Yeah, these are super clean, man. If you'd have asked me that with no context, I probably would have said A. But I know you're a big fan. You let me have the fives in the A tier, so whack them in the S, bro. If they're your sneaker of the year, they're clean, man. They're really clean. So yeah, not mad at that at all.
Yeah, I think that the way they look, the way they feel, the premium materials. Obviously, New Balance have kind of a reputation of having the most premium materials on there, like made in USA, made in UK models, and these shoes are absolutely no exception. I think also the way that I got them as well was pretty cool. I had a friend like buy them for me, basically. Like they sold out everywhere in Australia. They sold out in like boutiques, they sold out on the New Balance website, and one of my friends went in to get them from the actual physical store in a different state, like a totally different city, and he shipped them to me like the next day. So I was like, and it was the last pair, so I was like, oh, this is just perfect, has to be. And I just I think sometimes story and the way you get a shoe kind of twists your feelings about a shoe in a good way or a bad way.
Yeah, I think massive impacts how you feel about them and your like attachment to them. I agree.
I just think that like the colorway is awesome, the comfort's awesome, the amount of like lace options you get. I love a lace swap. I know you do too. Like the lace options are endless on this, and I've actually even put a couple of laces that it didn't come with, and they still work. Like it's almost a blank canvas for any sort of lace swaps you want to do. But yeah, I definitely love the aged well 992 from Joe Freshgoods and New Balance. And I think that's it, mate. That is our tier list. So we've got in the S tier, just to running it down for anyone on audio, we have the Jordan 1 Breads, you have the Union ones, you have the Brick by Brick 4s and the aged well like we saw before. You got the Travis Scotts, the Kobe All-Stars, the SB4s, the 95s 2025 version, Yuto Horigome Dunks, the Armand Meunier 3s, the Kith 992s, and the Metallic 5s. Any thoughts on that top tier S and A tiers? Anything you'd move down maybe on retrospect?
The only thing I would move down, but you wouldn't, is the dunks for me personally.
Yeah.
But That's just me. But I know you're a fan, so we won't be doing that.
I think they have to stay. I think it's just they're really. I think you if one day you get them or you see them in person, I think you might change your mind just a little bit. Like they're super nice. And I know dunks are dead, all that sort of stuff. But I mean, dunks have been around for longer than most sneakerheads have been alive. So, well, a lot of sneakerheads have been alive. So.
I'm certainly not the one to be like, oh, I don't wear dunks anymore because they're not cool anymore. I would still wear dunks.
They don't fit.
If it's the right way. And they're just not comfortable. And my feet like hurt after wearing them now. I've got one pair of dunks left, which is a 2021 UNC and they're great, but like they're just so uncomfortable that I just don't wear them,
Yeah, fair enough. Well, in the B tier, we've got the 990 V6 from Action Bronson. We've got the Eggplant Kobe's. We got the what are they? The Black Toe Reimagined with the Air Jordan text. You got the Galaxy Foams, the What the Kobe's, the Air Max 95s from Armand Meunier, and the Lucky Short 3s. Anything in there you might move down or maybe want to move up? In retrospect. To me, actually, I'm going to look at it. I'm thinking about moving the Action Bronsons down to C.
Really?
I'm sorry, but I just if I'm putting the Amazon colorway in C, I can't put that colorway, which I said I don't like, higher than that one.
Fair enough.
I think it has to go down to the C. Sorry.
Okay. No, that's all right. I do prefer that colorway to the other one, but they're not. I kind of agree. To be fair, that's cool.
Well, we've got now the C tier, which now includes both of the 990 V6s from Action Bronson. We have the Slahy Bembry 991 V2s, the Flu Games, and the Black Cat 3s. Anything you want to chat about that one? Now I'm thinking about the 991 V2s, maybe putting them up to B, but yeah, I think I'm done with the tinkering. I think that's gonna be it for me. So that's a good C tier. You happy with that?
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad if you moved them up, but I'm not like, oh, they definitely need to move up. Everything in there, like the Black Cats, I think it makes sense at the Flu Games.
Yeah.
I can't see myself putting them any higher. So yeah.
You got the Jown 993s, you've got the Kith 991 V2s and the DN8 all in the D and the F tier. So you've got only one of our shoes in the F tier, which is pretty good for, I mean, obviously I've picked the cream of the crop. I've picked the best of the shoes that have released this year. I'm not going to be picking any sort of, I mean, there was like the Clot Superstar dress shoe with the not waffle, but like ridge sole that I was like, that's terrible. Like, but again, I'm picking ones that people know and kind of move the needle. So to only have one in the F tier is pretty good. It's been a very, very big year, as we kind of been saying, and that's why we're kind of doing, I guess, a recap of the year so far, already basically 1/3 of the way through the year. So yeah, man, that is a pretty solid tier list, and I just want to say thank you so much for giving us your opinion, and I really appreciate you coming onto the podcast again. Hope that all of your content and your podcast does really well over there in the UK as you start to get into your summer months. You can pop out a few of those runners that you might have. I'm rugging up. I felt a little bit of a chill the other day, which was nice. Finally, I wore long pants, finally, once. So yeah, we're getting into our 4 or 5 months of slightly below 25 degrees, which is our winter.
Oh, summer. It hit 16 here the other day, and like people were out like topless and that. Like,
what?
It was nuts.
16? Yeah. No.
Even that, like, it was nuts.
If it was 16 here, you'd have people in Antarctic clothing, like proper black jacket puffers would be the attire for everyone if it got below 20. But I guess that's where we are in the kind of spectrum of the world. And yeah. Any last kind of words you wanted to say? Any sort of shout outs you wanted to do before we wrap this tier list episode up?
No, not massively, bro. Just wanted to say thank you for having me on again. We had a good conversation once again, and I feel pretty good about how the tier list turned out. So nice of having me on.
We might have to bookend perhaps at the end of the year and do a bit of a year in review and see how many of these sneakers actually made it to kind of the last, let's just say 25, because this was about 25 shoes on this one. So let's see how many of these shoes in the tier list eventually make it to the very end. We obviously have some pretty heavy hitters coming out. I'm just thinking off the top of the head, the undefeated 4s, the shattered backboard ones, the Travis Scott ones, the fragment ones, like all of those sort of things still coming out, plus whatever New Balance throws at us. Like there's going to be a ton more. So I doubt that even half of the shoes that are on this list will make it to the end of the year, but it's exciting and I'm very happy with where our tier list has gone. So again, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed to the channel. It's really awesome. I think our last 5 episodes have got over 100 views and 100 listens on different Spotify and Apple podcasts. So super excited about that. Thank you so much to everybody who listens to the show. Even if you listen this far, an hour and change in listening to us waffle on about a bunch of shoes, really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Like the video, it definitely does help us grow the channel a little bit, and I'll put all of Joe's links down below. I'll put his TikTok, Instagram, social. Did you start up a YouTube? I forgot to ask about that.
Yeah, I have started YouTube.
Yeah. All right. YouTube it is. And this obviously is going to be available on Spotify and YouTube and Apple Podcasts. So subscribe, do all those things. Thank you so much. You know how the internet works. Thank you so much to everybody. Thank you so much to Joe. Any last words, mate? We're going to sign off.
No. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah. Subscribe to Best Foot Forward Shoes.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thank you so much to everybody. Have a good day.